Hello, I hope you're all doing well in a time where the world has just gone absolutely crazy. And today, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you why I bought my car at the age of 20. It's not the stereotypical car you buy at 20. I mean, you know what it is because you've seen it in the description. But basically, I used to have a Peugeot 208. It was alright, it was safe, it had good fuel economy. You know what I mean, it was a standard car to get. But I decided I wanted something a bit more special. So about 2 years ago, I decided to purchase this at the age of 20. The Land Rover Defender 90. And what a beauty she is. This Defender was built in 1992 in Solihull and was fitted with a 200 TDI engine. It is one of the 2 million series and Defenders which were built between the 1940s and 2016. And there is a new one on the production line, but we'll come to that in a second. But this truly is an amazing car. And it's probably the most British car you can buy. You know what I mean? You got the Mini. This is better than a Mini. The Mini you can get like 2 people in and there's not enough room. Look at it! Look at it, it's huge! Well, I'll get to it, it's not actually that huge. I'll explain why in a second. But why do I love this car so much? Well, one of the first reasons is because it is just so practical. How many cars can you climb up onto and just sit on it or sit on the roof so many times, had a picnic or something like that? It's just so practical, utilitarian, you know, and you can just get stuff done in it. You don't care about cleaning it, you don't care about if it gets a dent in it, you know, like that. I don't care. You know, I mean, it's a Land Rover, you don't want it to be perfect, do you? And also, this car is 30 years old. Where's your 30-year-old car? You know, I mean, this is like the only car still on the road, like being used to day-to-day life, which is 30 years old. It's amazing. I mean, I don't really need to say this, but the car is just iconic, the design. And I know Land Rover has just released its new Land Rover Defender, and I like it, I love it. But is it iconic as the shape does it? Iconic straight backs, the curved roof? No, it doesn't. It doesn't, that's the thing. I just got a very interesting look for this. But that is the thing, it makes people smile. Everyone smiles when they see the car. Everyone knows it, everyone loves it. It's just such a fantastic car. And I'm going to say fantastic so many times because it is. And coming back to the practical aspect, you know what I mean, like, you don't care what you put in the back of it. You can literally fit a whole contents of a house in, well, sort of. I'll come back to that again, as I said, in the cons of the car. Because, you know what I mean, it is spacious, but it isn't. But I'll explain more in a second. And it might be an iconic car, but it is simple. The outside design is simple. And the inside, it's just, the inside, there is just not much in it. Okay, it's retro. It's definitely a retro car. But there's not much in here. You know what I mean? Has a radio, didn't come with a radio, I had to put that in. Then my favourite thing about it is it doesn't have any air conditioning. It's a 30-year-old car, it's not going to. But Land Rover, genius, we literally just had some flaps at the front. You lower it down like that, mine's a bit stiff, there you go, and it opens the flap out the front and that just shoots air through. And I'll tell you what, that is enough on a warm summer's day, plus 35 degrees, you know what I mean, you're not hot in here. As long as you're driving, if you're in traffic jam, that is a different matter. You do get very hot then. But, you know what I mean, when you're driving, it's fine. Yeah. And you know what, the seats themselves are actually comfy. I've driven in this for 7 hours straight. I wasn't uncomfortable. They are comfy seats. I mean, they are starting to fall apart after 30 years, but they're still a comfy seat though. But that brings me on to the cons. Now, as I've said, it is an old car. And that does bring with it problems. One of the biggest problems this car faces is rust. It is a rust box of a car. There is rust absolutely everywhere. I mean, okay, on here it's more corrosion, not really sure what, not bodywork next, but and the chassis, my chassis is actually in quite good condition, by the way. But you know what I mean, they are a bit weak in that area, I'll just say. Now, I have hinted towards this one already, and it is probably one of the major cons of the car. It's a big, small car. The diameter is huge. It's a very spacious car, but you know what I mean, it is still small. Like, this is the boot of the car, but if you fold all these seats down, there's no boot space. That's it. All the room has gone in the car to seats. There isn't a boot. I mean, you have a huge boot if you only have 2 people in the front. That's great. But if you want to take a full load, you're screwed for space. Now, you can go and get the size up from this. It is the Defender 110, and it pulls the car back a little bit, and you get an extra row of seats in the back, plus the same amount of space here. So essentially, you could actually get 9 people into that car if you want to, but then again, you would lose the boot space if you put all 9 in. But you could very easily have 5 people in here with a great amount of boot space. But for me, you know what I mean, I don't have 9 friends. I don't have 9 friends I'll take in the car all at once. So the Land Rover 90 for me is perfect. But if I ever do get 9 friends who would want to come in the car with me all at one time, you know what, I'd buy the 110. But at the moment, I'm quite settled with this. I think we've done enough talking. Let's get in it and go for a drive. Let's go. Listen to the engine of this 200 TDI fire up. There we go. Seat on. Health and safety first. Let's go. Wow. Now the engine I have is the 200 TDI model, and I personally think that is the best engine you can get. But every Land Rover Defender owner will say their engine they have is the best, and they are probably right, because Land Rover do, well, the early, I'm going to say, well, the later Land Rover Defenders didn't have the best engine. For me, they became too electronic. I think they put a trans engine in towards the end, but I'm not the best at engines, so I'm not 100% sure to say that confidently. But, you know what I mean, the 200 TDI and the 300 TDI engines are just simple. They are just simple to repair. I am no mechanic, but I can very easily look in the engine and be like, the fan belt's broken, the alternator's broken, or something else. And with modern engines nowadays, you just can't do that. Like, you can hear the car so loudly here. Like, as soon as something goes wrong, you know it has gone wrong. What's more, the car it's a very smooth drive. You can feel the road, you can feel every bump in the road, but it is smooth still. You know what I mean? It's not like ooh, but like that. We take it off-roaders like that, which we will do in a minute, but it is smooth and comfortable. It's kind of fun. You know what I mean? And it's not just a ride you can feel. You can really feel the controls. I can feel the steering wheel. I have to put force into the steering wheel. I have to put force into the brakes, into the clutch, into the gas pedal. And that is a workout in itself. I am saving myself £40 a month by just driving this car. I don't have to go and do any exercises. I'm working out my arms, I'm working out my legs. I mean, my core is not the best, my core's never been the best, but I don't really care. I'm saving myself 40 quid a month. I'm owning a Land Rover. You need to save yourself 40 quid a month, because this car is not the cheapest car to run. Now, it does have an alright miles per gallon. To be honest, I don't really know, I've never bothered to figure it out, but I would imagine it's somewhere between 25 to 35 miles per gallon in this car, driving on a motorway, for example. And that is good for 1992 standards. In today's standards, that is quite bad. That is bad, to be honest. But it is a big vehicle. It is a big vehicle, so I guess you would expect it to be lower. So that is probably one of the drawbacks of a Land Rover Defender 90. It's expensive to run, and I do try to come out of this as much as possible, but I don't like doing long journeys in it because it will cost me a lot of money with fuel. It will also, you know what I mean, like the tax isn't cheap either. I think this is about £300 a year to tax for the insurance. I'm young, so that insurance is at the top end of £1,000, and you know what I mean, like it's a great fun car to drive, and that overcomes the cost of running this car. But, you know, it's it's also cheap to repair for most stuff. Most stuff in this car is cheap to repair because it's very simple. Land Rover is still making some of these parts today, and like if you compare it to my old car, the Peugeot 208, if something went on that car, it would probably be electronic, and I'd spend a fortune trying to repair it. And in this car, you don't have to. You don't have to spend a fortune. Most of the stuff you can buy offline quite easily and repair it. Now there's a car behind me right now flashing me, and that is another thing. I honestly don't care, and I think if you buy the Land Rover, you're not going to care about speed. It is not the best car in the world for speed reliability, and we're coming to a junction where the speed limit is 60 miles an hour, so we can do a 0 to 60 miles an hour test of this to see how well it performs. You know what, I'm not expecting it to do 7 miles an hour, I'm not expecting it to do 13 like the average car, I'm not even expecting it to do 20. I would imagine it'll be somewhere around about 40. Let's go. 0 to 60, let's see how we do it. Right, we're going through 25, 30 miles an hour, 35, 40, into 50, 45, it's got a clutch burning. And we're now into 50 miles an hour, we're getting up the way to 60 now, flat out on the pedal, flat out going up to 60 miles an hour now, nearly there, and 60 miles an hour. I don't know what time it is, but I'll put it on the recording, and I've just realised it's just gone into 50, so I've got to slow quickly back down. But yes, the car is slow, it's not the fastest in the world to get to 60 miles an hour. But why does it need to be fast? It doesn't, it's a Land Rover Defender. It's to go across a farmer's field, it's to go across a dirt track on a Sunday afternoon, on an off-road course on a Saturday morning. It's not designed to go down a raceway, it's not designed to race around Silverstone, although I think there is a team of people who do that. It's not designed for that, it's designed, as I said, to be a farm utility vehicle. It doesn't need to be fast. And you know what, it is fast. It does 70 miles an hour quite easily on the motorway. I have no problem driving this thing at 70. No problem whatsoever. And yeah, it might be noisy. You might not be able to hear me properly when I drive. But you know what I mean, like, that is a flaw, you know what I mean, if I have a whole group of passengers in the back, even next to me sitting there, it's quite hard to sometimes hear what they are actually trying to say. But you know what, just the joy the car brings, it doesn't matter, I just love it. I just absolutely love driving this car. It is honestly the best thing I've ever bought in my life, best money invested, and it is an investment. This car is not losing value. It's not losing value whatsoever. No. Now one thing we haven't talked about with this car, which we sort of have, but not much, is taking this vehicle off-road. It's what this car is designed for, to go off-road. And let's do this now. Now, the issue is there's these things called green lanes you can go down, or legally known as byways open to all traffic or something like that. Now the issue is a lot of landowners don't actually want you to go down. Like this one here, they have put some markers in the way. So let's see if we can get our car through it. I'm not 100% convinced my car is going to make it through, and there is a tree flying through the window. I'm having a very close look. Close to hitting something. No, I think I made it. I think I've made it down. I haven't been down this road for a fair while now, so I can't remember what condition it is in. But I'm not going to be stupid and take it down somewhere where it's hard. And because of the coronavirus pandemic at the moment, it would be irresponsible of me to put myself into a situation where I'd have to call others for help, and I can't also bring other people with me, which I usually would do, to help out if something gets stuck. I never have got stuck, touch wood, but I have a lot of wood in here, which is an issue. But you know what I mean, I just want to play it cautious, if you get me. but the car just does handle well. I mean, I could put it into low range, but I really don't need to in this car. And if you don't know what low range and high range is, go and have a look at it. There's loads of videos on YouTube explaining it. This is just why I bought my car. And you know what? Why did I buy my car? Because it's fun, it's fantastic, it's utilitarian, you can do whatever you like in it, you can take it anywhere. You can scavenge in it, you can do what, you know what I mean? There's so many things you can do. You can explore an adventure, which I love to do. And I will be doing more adventures in the next year. And I just, you know what I mean? I know it might sound a bit cliche, I've said it lots of times, but I just love this car so much. I just love it so much.
And I'm not the only one who loves this car. Queen also has it too. She has one, I think she even has two. And that means this car truly is fantastic.